Hey everyone, welcome to the channel for another Escape from Tarkov video. In this one, I'm happy to present to you my updated ammo guide for the 12.7 patch, including all new ammo types added up to the date of making this video. Like my updated armor guide, I'm not going into the nitty-gritty details on each and every piece of ammo in the game. Instead, I'll be going over each different caliber in Escape from Tarkov and picking out the best overall and the best budget options. Hopefully this serves as a quick way to get an overview of what rounds are worth using in each caliber. There's a lot of different ammo to get through, so without any further delay, I'll cut the intro here and get started on one of the most common ammo types you'll see in Tarkov, the 5.45 AK round. 5.45x39 is one of the most common ammo types in Escape from Tarkov, and it's used in all of the AK-74 series rifles as well as the RPK-16. It's a fairly balanced round with good velocity, moderate damage, and solid armor penetration depending on the ammo type. For the budget options, 5.45 BT is the best of your choices, with 44 damage and 37 pen, which works great against Class 4 armor and will take down Class 5 after a few consecutive hits, but it struggles against Class 6. You can get BT rounds from proper level 3 for 500 rubles, or about 200 to 300 on the market, or you can find large quantities in raid on reserve or customs in the ammo boxes. 5.45 BP rounds are slightly cheaper at 350 rubles, but don't have quite as good armor penetration stats, making them a second choice. Finally, 5.45 PP rounds are exceptionally cheap at around 150 rubles at proper level 2, and they have decent stats with 46 damage and 30 pen. These are the cheapest viable 5.45 rounds and can be a good choice at low levels. For the best options in this category, BS and 7N39 rounds are both solid options for top tier ammo. BS rounds have 40 damage and 51 pen, making them great against Class 5 armor and able to pen Class 6 armor after 1 or 2 hits. 7N39 on the other hand has slightly less damage at 37, but much higher pen at 63, which makes it melt through all armor in the game. Both of these rounds are unavailable from traders and will cost you upwards of 1,000 rubles per bullet on the market. However, 30 BS rounds can be traded for 2 hot rods at proper level 3, and 7N39 can be crafted at the workbench using one of each type of gunpowder. Both of these rounds can also be found in raid in 30 round ammo boxes. Next up, we have the 7.62x39 AK round, which is used by the AKM, AK-103 and 104, Vepr 136, and the SKS. It's essentially a bigger, slower 5.45 round with less velocity and accuracy, but higher damage and decent armor pen. There's really only 2 good rounds in this caliber, starting off with the PS rounds for a budget choice, with 57 damage and 32 pen at only 88 rubles from proper level 1. 7.62 PS rounds are one of the best available in the early game from levels 1 to 15, and perform very well up to Class 4 armor. Overall, PS rounds are some of the cheapest usable ammo in the game, but quickly become outclassed when you unlock better ammo. 7.62 BP rounds are the top tier choice for this caliber and give you 58 damage and 47 pen for around 750 rubles per bullet from proper level 3 after completing some of the Punisher quest line. It can also be crafted 120 at a time for a single green gunpowder at the workbench. BP rounds will pen almost all types of armor in the game within 1 to 3 shots, but may take a few more versus Class 6. It might not be the best ammo type in the game, but it's become extremely popular after the recoil buff to 7.62 AKs because it's easy to craft and available for purchase. Next up, we'll move into another main assault rifle ammo type, the 5.56x45 ammo used by the M4, HK416, ADAR, DTMDR, and AK101 and 102. It's an accurate, high-velocity round with generally good penetration and moderate damage across the board. 5.56 ammo has received a few changes in the 12.6 to 12.7 patch, which seriously increased the effectiveness of mid-tier rounds, making them a very viable choice for pretty much all levels. For the best budget options here, you're going to want to stick with the M855A1 or M856A1 rounds, which are both very good for their cost. M855A1 is available at Peacekeeper level 4 for less than $3 per bullet, with 45 damage and 43 pen, making them extremely effective against armor up to Class 4 and above with only a few more hits. M856A1 is available earlier at Peacekeeper level 2 and has slightly more damage but less pen at 37 points. It's definitely second place in terms of performance, but it's pretty useful early game and can be crafted at the workbench. Keep in mind that this is also a tracer ammo. Finally, the top tier ammo for the 5.56 category is the M995 round, with 40 damage and 53 pen, but sold for a staggering $13 per bullet at Peacekeeper level 4. You can also craft it at the workbench using 1 green gunpowder and a tank shell, but that is still very costly. M995 has amazing stats and performance, but the cost is really high, so it's hard for me to justify packing a full loadout with this ammo. 7.62x51 is an accurate, powerful rifle round with high damage and generally high penetration, but a lot of recoil as well. It's used by the M1A, SA-58, Vepr Hunter, SR-25, and several bolt-action snipers, plus the RSAS. This is one of the more powerful ammo types in the game because of its reliable 2-shot kill and high armor penetration. For the best budget round in this class, M80 is an obvious contender with 80 damage and 41 pen at only $2 per bullet at Peacekeeper level 2. While it no longer can one-tap players after the chest HP buff, M80 still has some of the best stats for a cheap round, able to get through pretty much all armor in the game after a reasonable number of hits. Depending on your definition of budget though, the M62 Tracer bullet can be seen as both the best round and the best budget round, with 79 damage and 54 pen for only $4 a bullet at Peacekeeper level 3. M62 offers some of the best overall stats in the game for its price point, and will reliably kill in 2 hits through almost every single armor in the game, and not destroy your bank account. For the best overall rounds in this category, M61 and M993 both essentially accomplish the same thing, 100% armor penetration, but M61 generally does it for a better price, so I recommend sticking with that. With 70 damage and 68 pen, M61 has basically a 100% chance to pen armor, and will 2-shot any player in the chest. It's sold for $10 from Peacekeeper level 4 after completing Wet Job Part 6, and can be crafted using 3 red gunpowder and 1 helix at the workbench. Next up, we have the 7.62x54R round used by the SVDS, SV98, and Mosin, a high-velocity sniper round with high damage and penetration on pretty much all ammo types. Pretty much all of these rounds do very well against armor, and some of them even have enough damage to one-tap unarmored targets, making them great for sniping. For the budget ammo choice, I would say T46M is a great choice for cheap Mosin runs, giving you 82 damage and 41 pen for only 250 rubles at proper level 2. They have enough pen to defeat class 4 armor, but don't do so great against class 5 or higher. For the best overall ammo, I have to give it to the SNB round, which has 75 damage and 62 pen for only around 400 to 500 rubles on the flea market. SNB rounds get a near 100% penetration rate against all armor, have enough damage to kill in 2 hits, and are half the price of similar rounds in other calibers, making them a very good choice in my opinion. However, pretty much every ammo type in this category is worth using in some form. LPS and 7N1 rounds can one-tap unarmored players, while 7N37 and 7BT1 also have amazing armor penetration, so it's hard to single out the best ammo type in this category. Next, we'll look at the 9x39mm ammo used by the VSS and AS-Val in Escape from Tarkov, a low-velocity, high-damage bullet with decent armor pen across the board. Because of the high fire rate of the weapons using this ammo, it also leads to one of the fastest times to kill in the game. For the best budget round in this caliber, it definitely goes to the SP5, with 68 damage and 35 pen at only 220 rubles from proper level 2. SP5 has pretty good stats for its price, going through armor up to class 4 very consistently, and it also can shred high class armor quickly with consecutive hits. For the best overall round, I personally think SP6 is the ideal 9x39 ammo, with 58 damage and 43 pen for only around 760 rubles at proper level 3, or about 650 on the market, and it can also be crafted. It can easily pen armor up to class 5 in 1 to 2 hits, and can take down class 6 armor pretty quickly after a couple shots. SP6 has slightly lower stats compared to the SPP and BP rounds, but it's also around half the price and much easier to acquire. If you can get a hold of SPP or BP rounds, they are very good, but at over 1,000 rubles each on the market, SP6 is much more viable as a main ammo type. The 12.7x55mm ammo is a unique round used only by the Ash 12 right now in Escape from Tarkov. It's a very heavy and powerful round with high damage but very low velocity. In this caliber, there's really only one truly viable option, since considering the high cost to run an Ash 12 loadout, you don't want to risk the other types besides the PS12B ammo. PS12B is the armor-piercing round for this caliber, with 102 damage and 46 pen, meaning it can one-tap other players to the chest if the round penetrates. The other options don't really compare when it comes to PvP, so just stick with the PS12B if you want to run the Ash 12. You can get this from proper level 4 for 600 rubles per bullet. It's a very fun ammo type and one of the most overall damaging rounds in the game, but due to the high cost and insane recoil of the Ash 12, it's kind of uncommon to see. Lastly, for the rifle rounds, we have the 366 TKM ammo, used by the VPO 209 and VPO 215 rifles in Escape from Tarkov. This ammo is low velocity, high damage, and overall medium pen, but now has a fairly decent AP ammo type in the 12.7 patch. For the best budget round, I would say the EKO round is your go-to, with 73 damage and 30 pen for 67 rubles at Jaeger 2. For the best overall round, it's definitely the newly added 366 AP round, coming in at a whopping 90 damage and 42 pen for only 420 rubles at mechanic level 3. The stats are fairly good, and it can get through most armor in a reasonable number of hits with a chance to one-tap unarmored enemies. You can also craft this 366 AP ammo at the workbench. You can make it work, but I still don't really love this ammo type in general because of the low velocity and poor accuracy at any kind of range. Now that I've covered pretty much all the rifle rounds, we'll move into the pistol rounds, starting with the classic 9x19, with decent overall stats given its low recoil, especially on the higher tier rounds. The best budget ammo for this caliber is the PST GZH, with 54 damage and 20 pen for only about 60 rubles from various level 1 traders. It needs multiple hits to get through armor, but it's dirt cheap and this is your only option in the early game. For the best overall rounds, it's definitely the AP 6.3 and 7N31 rounds. AP 6.3 gets you 52 damage and 30 pen for under $3 a bullet at Peacekeeper level 3. It has enough pen to take out level 3 face shields, and in fast firing weapons, it can shred armor pretty well. 7N31 gets you 52 damage and 39 pen for about 530 rubles at proper level 4, letting you take down level 4 and above armor with high fire rate weapons. Despite its limited availability, I love this round for making 9mm competitive again. For this caliber, you also have 3 viable leg meta rounds, the Quakemaker at Peacekeeper level 2, Luger CCI at Skier level 4, and Rip rounds which can be crafted at the workbench. All 3 of these are solid choices, with Quakemaker being significantly less expensive. Next up, we have the unique round of the MP7, the 4.6x30mm cartridge. This is my personal favorite SMG round with good velocity and penetration, but low damage. For the best budget round, FMJSX is a clear winner with 43 damage and 40 pen for only $2 at Peacekeeper level 3. While it's often sold out, this ammo is quite good and pens up to class 4 armor easily and can take down higher classes relatively quick with consecutive hits. Subsonic SX is also a good second choice for when FMJ is sold out at mechanic level 3 for 260 rubles, with slightly less pen and lower velocity, but lower recoil, and it's not sold out as much. Finally, the obvious best choice for the MP7 is the AP SX round, with 35 damage and 53 pen for about 750 rubles per bullet at mechanic level 4. This ammo gets through almost all armor instantly, and while it has low damage, the MP7 spits it out fast, which still leads to quick kill times. The 5.7x28 round used by the P90 and 5.7 is similar to the MP7 ammo, but overall has higher damage and lower pen, but also considerably lower cost compared to something like APSX. In this category, SB193 is the best budget choice stats-wise, with 54 damage and 35 pen for $2 at Peacekeeper level 3. However, the SB193 ammo is subsonic, so if you want more muzzle velocity, use the L191 round, which has similar stats, an identical price, but is a tracer bullet. The best overall round for this caliber is the SS190, with 49 damage and 37 pen for only $3 at Peacekeeper level 3. It's barely more expensive than the other ammo types and is unlocked at the same level, so overall it's the best option. The other 4 ammo types are all leg meta rounds, with R37F coming in at the highest damage with 98 points. Next up, we have the 9x18mm round used by the PM, APS, Klin, and Keter, which overall is a moderate damage, low pen pistol round with low recoil. For the best budget round in this category, all I can really say is any of the basic types sold by Proper Level 1 will perform pretty much the same, since they all have similar stats, but the PST GZH type has the best armor pen at 12 points. Overall though, the PBM and PMM ammo sold by Proper Level 3 have the best combo of damage and armor pen, and would be my recommendation for these weapons, even though they're unlocked kind of late for how useful they are. For leg meta rounds, the SP7 or SP8 at Proper Level 3 are the best choices, but most ammo of this caliber does alright for leg meta plays. The 9x21mm round is currently only used by the SR1MP pistol and is a low velocity round with high damage and decent penetration. The best budget round in this category is the SP10 sold by Proper Level 4 with 49 damage and 35 pen for about 150 rubles. The best overall round is the SP13 with 63 damage and 39 pen for 280 rubles, also at Proper Level 4. The other two ammo types are high damage but have much lower pen, so overall I would stick with the SP10 or SP13. Next up, we have the 7.62x25mm round used by the TT and the PPSH. This one will be quick since despite there being a lot of ammo types, only one really stands out. The PST GZH round is the best overall for this caliber with 50 damage and 24 pen for about 75 rubles from Proper Level 3. It's not great, but it has the highest chance to get through armor, so I would say that's an advantage. Almost every other round in this caliber has near identical stats, so I would say just use whatever is cheapest until you get the PST GZH rounds. .45 caliber is another pistol round used only by one weapon right now, the M1911, and this caliber also only has a few useful ammo types. First up, basic 45 FMJ is the best budget round with 72 damage and 19 pen for only $1 at Peacekeeper level 2. The 45 AP round is definitely the best overall in this category with 70 damage and 36 pen for $3 at Peacekeeper level 3, making it by far the best ammo in this class against armor. Once some SMGs are added for this caliber, I'll focus more on this ammo type, but for now all you need to know is use FMJ or AP rounds. Finally, we come to the shotguns, starting with the 12 gauge used by the MP153, 133, M870, M590A1, and Saiga 12. I'll be dividing this into two parts, buckshot and then slugs. For buckshot, the best option is the 8.5mm Magnum buckshot, which does 50 damage times 8 pellets for only 50 rubles at Jaeger level 2. Other buckshot is not that much different, but this one has the highest damage. The flechettes at Jaeger level 3, however, are the only buckshot with good armor penetration. These have 25 damage times 8 flechettes, each with 31 pen, so it shreds armor when all 8 hit. These only cost 77 rubles per shell and are definitely worth a try. For slugs, the Poleva 6U is the best budget option with 150 damage and 20 pen at Jaeger level 2. The AP20 slug is the best overall round for shotguns though, with 164 damage and 37 pen for 197 rubles at Jaeger level 4. They can be hard to unlock, but you can also craft them at the workbench using red gunpowder and hard drives. Finally, we come to the 20 gauge ammo used by the Taz bolt action shotgun. Since the Taz is basically a meme weapon, I'm just going to quickly list the best buckshot and the best slugs. For buckshot, the 7.3mm shell at Jaeger level 2 has the highest damage at 23 times 9 pellets. For slugs, the Poleva 6U and the Star slug at Jaeger level 2 and 3 respectively have high damage and both have the highest pen at 17 points. Overall, I think you should never use this ammo type on purpose, but to each their own. Well, that covers it for every single caliber in the game, and my recommendations for the top pick in terms of best budget and best overall ammo in each class. There's a lot to go through, and it's tough to keep this concise while also going over the pros and cons of each caliber. Hopefully this guide gives you a pretty good sense of what the best choices are within each category though, and makes it easier to just decide what's worth using. In any case, leave your thoughts down below, and I'll try and clear up any questions as they pop up into the comments. Thanks for checking out the video. I've got links to my Twitch stream, Discord server, and Patreon page down below for anyone interested. And until next time, stay safe in Tarkov City.